How will you fare in the world of caves and creatures? Inns, ectoparasite of blight, leader of the insects. Inn's origins are unknown, but what is known is that he is the ruler of all the sicknesses, all the plagues and infestations that fall upon the world. Many have tried to get rid of him, but it is simply not possible. Inns always comes back and finds a way. This is reflected within the game. Inn's 2 mana cost means that he can rejuvenate every single turn without fail. You cannot ever truly get rid of this infestation, this plague. Inns is a very non-standard leader. He has the lowest attack power of all the leaders, he has the highest armor of all the leaders, but he also has the lowest health of all the leaders. However, his health is a very strange concept, as he generally takes 3 hits to take down, as opposed to other leaders which can take the same amount, but Inns will nearly always take a single damage from any combat, and when he does go down, he comes straight back. Inn's ability is a rather unique one. Essentially what it means is every time your opponent spends or loses 10 mana in total, he will gain a mana and draw 1 card. Inns is not the hardest leader to take down. It's rather difficult to hit him 3 times in 1 turn, but you can chip him down and threaten lethal quite often. This means that insects can have problems with holding areas, since by taking down Inns you reset his position on the board, and it's not super hard to do so. Creatures that ignore armor, for example the dragon's Inferno Drake, can take him down every single turn, or even out the blue and completely surprise Inns. However, the insects have many upsides to make up for this. Insects possess a host of very powerful creatures, and they're relatively cheap too. There are numerous powerful shrines in the deck, for example the Inspection, which can very quickly whittle down your opponent's creatures, with damage to do with as you please. The Praying Mantis can alter your opponent's position, Robug can do up to 3 damage that ignores armor, and the Zombie Tree Wetter comes back once per game, which makes it a very potent card that your opponent has a very difficult time getting rid of. Inns sometimes serves as a caveat for the deck, in that him getting killed and having your position reset can be problematic. It is a very valid strategy to pin Inns down at the cave if you can get a lead against insects, but the insects have very powerful cards in order to accommodate this. As the insects, you want to utilise these to avoid being pinned down, and when up against the insects, you'll want to try and pick off Inns if possible. If Inns has mana parasite counters, going for him increases in value. All in all, insects utilise debilitations and very powerful creatures in order to make up for Inns' weaknesses, but insects can swarm, they can make your opponent sick, and if you can't get rid of the source of the infestation, they'll keep coming back and keep on causing problems. They have cards that can bring swarms and swarms of creatures out, but ultimately, the swarm will not be denied, and they will have their feast. Inns is not inherently evil, he is just a byproduct of what nature intends. Will you support Inns and support nature itself, or will you go against him and get rid of the source of the infestation? What will be your decision upon entering the world of caves and creatures?